A follow-up video to the laptop or big rig when you're growing. We did a video on the creators who are starting. I'll leave that link below. But this one, the growing creators. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos. Today, we're touching up on buying a laptop or moving to the rig when you're growing your business. And of course, you've been in it for a while. You have a laptop or you have a computer. It's doing its thing, but now you need more because you're doing more. And in contrast to the previous video, where I'll leave the link below for people who are starting, this one is a little bit different because you look at it in terms of what is your workflow. You've established your workflow, you know your workflow, and you know that it might be changing as you get more projects. And the idea is that you're on your computer all the time. So your budget has changed because you have now income. And of course, you're looking at time, energy, and money a little bit differently because you might just be growing to the point where you might be hiring more people. And the question then becomes, what is that process that you'd be looking at that will really solidify the future need for you? Now, if your workflow needs mobility, then of course you're going to need something like a laptop. Now, at the same time, if you are working at home or in your studio or in your office, well, a rig would probably suit you better. But in most cases, whenever you need a rig, well, you need a laptop. And now the idea here is very simple. What is your workflow? You look at your workflow and you ask yourself, how much time am I testing different things when I'm creating? And then what is the idea of me working on the daily things that I know my laptop or my computer needs? Those are the two things that we're going to focus on because, of course, every time lately, what I've been doing is a client will be like, hey, can we do something like this? And I got to test a new feature out. And sometimes some of these features will be like, no issue. And then sometimes, oh my God, I'm waiting there going, what just happened? Why is this taking an extra hour? Okay. Tears come down your face. So we got to look at all these specifics so we understand, okay, what are we doing so we can judge appropriately our time. So when we can, contract anything out, we know how much we're going to actually be charging for that. And of course, that individual will need some kind of a computer that can handle things. And of course, then we're going to quote out that work so we know that we're making that profit. So the idea now becomes, well, what if I hire that person to work for in studio, in house, okay? Well, you're probably going to want to provide either the rig or the laptop. So first things first, we got to look at it in terms of you. What do you actually need? Now, in what I'm doing, I've been in the studio for 2 years and I built a rig and I was really perfectly fine with it, but we're going back into the jungle and it's like, all right, I still need to have my laptop. I use this every day, not just for, the creative stuff and the editing and this and that, but I use it for my daily tasks and everything I need. So battery is one thing, but then I need a video card in this laptop. And do I really need to have it super, super powerful? No, because I do have the rig and I'm still in the area. So it's not a big, big deal yet. But I know it's going to become a big deal. At the same time, I'm sitting there going, well, I'm going to be hiring somebody. They're going to be working, and they're working more in and out of the studio, but I'm going to be needing something permanent. So what will happen in that case? Now, this is where we look at it and we say, okay, here's our workflow. It's going to change a little. How is it going to change, and what are we going to actually need versus want? Because I know I can upgrade this desktop, and if the person is in office, then great, I can upgrade this one, give it to them, and then build another one over the next coming year when the new stuff comes out. However, it could be that I need to just build a new rig for them because I need this. It's all based on the workflow. Now, can I get away with just this right now in my workflow? Yeah, I can, as long as they're doing all the heavy duty editing and I'm just touching up and doing the requirements that have to be added on after that I'm good at. So the thought process again becomes upgradability. Okay, where's your investment in this and where's your time, energy, and money? How much time am I actually investing into all of this? That's it. If I'm looking at this and I'm saying I have a budget now and I have people working for me and I'm contracting out and I have people in house and I'm now going and quoting, I need to be very specific on what I'm doing. And sometimes you need the required tool. So you're going to look at that and say, what is that required tool? And that is the need. And then you're going to look at it and go, what's the upgradability path from that? Because eventually things will start to change and you're going to need something faster. And it's better to upgrade and keep something a little bit longer than it is to go buy something totally new, which in cases this rig back here, which has a AMD 5900X, and I can look at it and go, you know what, all I'm gonna have to do is upgrade the video card when the new 4000 series comes out. We'll be good with this one. Done. Okay. it'll be fine. This is still usable for another couple years. We'll be fine because I can upgrade that video card. But on a laptop, well, I can't really do that. And what I've noticed is, as new updates come with every software, you're going to notice this: the shelf life of these laptops, of these rigs, become 2 years, 1 year, 2 year, and then all of a sudden you see that decrease, and you see this decrease dramatically. Okay, and when you hit that double the time, you really feel it. And that's going to take away from the amount of time people are working on things. So with this rig, for instance, when it gets to the point where it's double the time and I'm paying somebody and it's taking about 8 to 20 minutes to do something, well, what are they doing in that time? Are they just lounging around, or are they working on something else? Can the computer handle you doing something else so that they're not eating up that time that I'm paying for them for it to render? Now, this is your workflow path where you need to adjust for and look at your need, and then look at your budget and say, what is my allocated budget each year for technology? A lot of the times people miss the other aspect of storage, and they miss that whole idea of how to do storage, and you have to have a good workflow with storage before you go and invest in anything like this. I have videos for those. I will link them below, because it's incredibly critical to look at this and say to yourself, all right, where is that process for me, so that I know that I'm backed up and I'm secured, and when I hire somebody, they know the procedures and they know how it's going to function, whether they have the best of the best rigs or laptops, and or they bring their own. I've worked with people where they're like, I'm going to bring my own. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right. They look at what I have and they go, you know what? I got something faster. I want to get the job done faster. And usually those are the contract people. But if I hire somebody to work for me, then I'm going to have to provide that tool. So we look at these ideas and we go, okay, what's the upgradability path? Now, on the rig, I know I can get away with that. And I know I can even use this case, upgrade everything, get another case, throw everything in there because I really like this case and keep that as mine. Or I can look at it and say, hey, let me just go build something new for that new member of the team, and then all of a sudden we are good to go, and they have their own rig, and we're laughing, and eventually I'll upgrade mine. Now, again, I got to see who's more important and where is the time, energy, money going to when we are actually investing into it, or else it becomes a spend and now you are struggling. The rule of thumb here becomes is, how much time are you investing into your tools, and how much time are you losing from not purchasing something that you need versus want. So on the want, your budget will be too high, and maybe you're not going to make your money back on those tools. But when I look at something like a rig and I can say, hey, every day it's working and it's making me this much money, if I go and invest a little bit more, I can get even more stuff done on it. Now we're making money from the rig. We know how much money we're making. Or the faster this is, the less time I'm spending. Well, now again, I'm making more money from the use of the tool. So we balance this out and we look at it and we go, if I'm going to go purchase something, what is the value I'm getting back from that time lost? So if this laptop goes from 4 to 8 minutes to render something, and now it's 8 to 12 minutes, and then it goes to 12 to 16 minutes as every update it slows down, well, now we're looking at it and we're going, well, now we're like quadrupling the time it would take for a new laptop to get it done. So how much time am I wasting there? Let's calculate this up and put a value on it. So how much time am I charging my company for me to work? And I put that in a value. And if that value is too high, I got to make a move. And I got to look at it and say, what can I do with the tools that I'm going to be purchasing so that I can now look at the workflow, and I know I'm going to be hiring people. What is going to be the next upgradable path that we take? And that's it. If we can really structure this, now you know, hey, I'm going to go this path, and your decisions are more easy to make, and you don't really think about the money as being a negative, but more of a positive, because now you're investing it, not spending it. So am I worried about, dropping 4 grand on a new computer? No, I'm not, because I'm already thinking ahead of how I'm going to do it. So it makes the decision very easy. What about a laptop? Yeah, that one's a little bit harder to swallow, because at the end of the day, this still gets the job done right now. So now we have this idea of, well, this negative feeling is a want. I can feel that in there because I can't actually put it into the need category of my workflow. That's all we have to be doing, and calculating out the numbers to know, well, how much money am I losing by doing XYZ? At the end of the day, I can make a decision on hey, am I going to work on my laptop or come into the studio? And how much time did I lose traveling when I could have worked, wherever I was, whether home or, let's say I was like an hour away in a bigger city and I had to come back and all this and that. So this is the thought process we should be looking at as we move forward. The time, energy, money is critical. Your workflow is the focus. The idea of who you're hiring as you start to grow is the focus of your workflow expanding. And then, of course, you're looking at it in terms of time, energy, money as it relates to your budget. Your budget is based on whatever contracts you're getting, the gigs you're getting, and how that all relates overall on the time it takes to complete. And if you're doing your corporation process right with your accountant telling you how much each person is on payroll and what the times have become to stretch out, now we start to pay attention to these things where it goes, okay, buying a new laptop that's going to be high end because I need it makes sense. Or, hey, my employees need to come first and I need to make sure that they get the right gear, the right tools to do what they need to do makes sense because our workflow makes sense. So take a step back. If you're in this position, you're feeling uneasy to purchase a new laptop or a rig and you don't know what to do, you look at your workflow, just write it down and pay attention to it for a month before you make that decision so you can make better decisions as you move along. My name is Nikos. Check out the videos below on this topic and the series of buying gear as you start up and start to create. Of course, check out these two videos.